One of the things I wanted to talk about today, we as Hawaiians, we're in this crazy kind of dilemma right now because we're being pushed from so many angles, where people are calling upon us to make these really profound decisions that may be monumental and life changing for a long time, for not only ourselves today, to satisfy ourselves today, but for our future. And so this is quite different than just satisfying yourself today or your family today. We're talking about your bloodlines for a long time going down the line. And in making that decision, we should be able to draw upon that past. What did we have before? And I'm not saying necessarily the way man lived, whether we lived in grass shacks or whatever, or whether we had wars and stuff like that. I'm talking about that genuine good spot in all mankind, wherever he's at in whatever stage of life and civilization he's in. Yeah. And so and so right now we're dealing with this Na'i Aupuni thing, and there's this big, incessant push by the federal government to use whatever tools they can. And now, because it hasn't worked directly with the feds, they moved it into letting the state take the front role and act like it's a state process, and maybe a little more pliable with the people who have to participate. Now, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to discourage anybody, but I want people to understand governments are never made to help people. They're not designed to do that. Okay, it may be incidental that this program had to happen, and part of that thing meant that you had to help these things, but it's not that they wanted to help you. They want something from you. And so, this whole idea of a kakabill has been going on for a good 15, almost 20 years, you know. And it actually started way back in the 70s when they did OHA. OHA was like the first drop that fell in that direction. The first intended drop. And when I say intended, it's that they threw out this idea, and from that first idea, they've been weaving onto it to make it more and more palatable to people. And as our generations grow, this is why it takes so long, is because they'll put out something and the people will respond to it, and they'll really see what's going on, and they'll object to it, and they'll find all these objections. And this is all part of the plan. They want you to do this. That's why they do it in 20-year cycles, is because it'll take you about 10, 12, 14 years before you've exhausted all your arguments, right? And then they just put it in the paper before you even get to talk about it. They'll just put all the answers that you've been complaining about in the next proposal. And you're going, well, it sounds better this time. Well, it sounds better because you gave them the freaking answers. That's why it sounds better. And so because we're from this generation of instant gratification, our memory spans are really not large. They are large, but we've been conditioned to do everything in rapidness. Yeah, we want instant gratification. I'm gonna do something now. It's kind of like the little thing I threw out a while back where it says, you know how to tell a good farmer from a junk farmer. And he's the guy who doesn't dig up his seeds every day to see if the roots are coming up. And it's actually, oh yeah, that makes sense. But at the same time, when you think about it, you go, yeah, I told that guy yesterday, look at him. He's still not listening. Well, did he get a chance to even get his root out in the ground? You're already expecting him to flower. What the hell's up with that? And this is where our problem is. And so one of the things that I think is really important for us is to allow ourselves time. Give ourselves time so we're not feeling like we're rushed, or we got to debate each other and one-up each other and all this kind of stuff, because I'll give you a real good example. And I'm actually practicing here, okay? I'm trying to practice to figure out how can we reach our people in the quickest possible manners? And like click at it, where they go, hey, did I hear that right? Kind of stuff. And when you get them in that spot, that means at least you got them thinking. Confusion is another real good thing, because when people are confused, at least they're thinking about something rather than just, not paying attention. And so anyway, with this Na'i Aupuni thing, they've been talking to you, and they've been building this up for years. It's gone through the international into the United Nations stuff, the International Doctrine on Human Rights and all this kind of stuff. They have these buzzwords. You have the right to self-determination. Everybody has the right to self-governance. Yeah, and so they're big buzzwords. And you hear them, you're like, yeah, I think that's right. I think we need our independence. Of course, the question is, independent from what? You know? And so this is where I think that we are really gifted to be in Hawaii and be of Hawaiian blood, because, like, you're in the middle of the Pacific. I mean, what are you going to get free from? The ocean? You know what I mean? And so that kind of thing becomes relative when you don't have this great landmass that you can just run away to, right? So you must figure it out, because there's no other place to draw information from.